Unfortunately, when we met, I couldn't show this CRM to you guys, so I want to make this video and show you guys what is capable and what I have done for one of my customers with the CRM. It's pretty advanced, and some of the stuff is very hard to come by in other applications. And I just want to show you a couple of caveats that we have in there. Alright, let me get started. For this demo purpose, I'm using All City Transportation Personnel file. CRM customer would be almost the same thing, a little bit different, but the personnel file, it has all the most attributes that you're going to have in the customer file, maybe even more, because you have payroll involved, but you would have purchases involved in the other one. So it's basically almost the same. One of the features is that you can filter down your view of the records that you want to see by, by any kind of thing, active, inactive status, or category they might be in, or the position. And we have a Rolodex going across the top that you can actually filter down by last name. But I'm just going to use the search bar to look for my own name and play around with my own record only. Sure. Once you open up the record, you can see all kind of information on the screen and in their tabbed format. One of the important ones is the position. The position has certain fields that are required. So you may start the record without them. The red stars on the screens are the fields that are mandatory before it can be saved. But the ones that are not required to get the record started, but you would like to have them, so the system keeps track of it for you and gives you a report that, hey, there are certain things that are missing. For example, date of birth is not required for my position, but I'm going to change that and make it required for administrator, and let's see what happens to the system. Right now it's shown as a black prompt, but as soon as I change it, it becomes orange, and the system will track of it and will give a report out, hey, this is missing from this person. I'm just going to click on a few of the tabs so you can see the data elements that are in there. One of the best things that we do is the swipe of the driving license, which actually when you click on it, a pop-up comes up and you actually swipe. There's a swipe next to the computer there. It's connected to the computer, and once you swipe it, all the data is taken from your driving license and entered into the system. So a quicker data entry, and also it's more correct than somebody actually typing it in. I'm just going to click on different fields, different tabs, so you can see what else is going on in there. There's a lot of things going on. I wish we would have had time to show it to you in person. As you can see in the missing data, there's only three fields that are missing from my record. And once we change that, I'm going to change that so it becomes 4. So I'm going to add date of birth in there, so you'll see another one added to that field. Another good thing in the system is its notes section, how it tracks it. Once you put a note in, it cannot be re-edited, and it marks it with the exact date and time and who did it, and so you can see a flow of comments, so you can track them down and have confidence on the quality of the data, and nobody has altered the data once it's got in. So the notes are very important, and we can have it do system specific just for your arena, just for a customer, what they're looking for and everything, and have it later on repeat back that data or track it for us. This is a 100% homegrown system. The data history is basically keeps track of every record in the system and who had made changes to it, what they have changed, and when they changed it, and what computer they changed it from. So right now there's not much there because this is my record, and you can see there isn't much change from record to record, but I have 5 records in the system that belongs to me. 1 is the current one and 4 is a historical record, so you can actually traverse back and forth and see what has been changed. Right now you can't see any changes, but I'm going to do some data changes in mine, and you can see the how it alerts you. Now I'm going to show you how that missing data can change. As you can see, there's only 3 missing data in the tab, and my date of birth prompt is black. That means it's not required, it's not mandatory, and the system is not tracking it. So I'm going to leave out of here. I'm going to go to the position setup, and I'm going to edit the administrator. So all the administrator will have to have, for example, date of birth. So if I go to general information fields and I go check date of birth, just that easily. Now the system tracks it. It wants everybody that's administrator to have a date of birth, but you can have a record without it. So it gives you best of both worlds. So if I go to my personnel file now and I go search for myself again, it will come up, and date of birth, as you can see, the prompt has changed. It's kind of like an orange color. So I'm gonna take the date of birth out, and I'm gonna save through it. And now when it refreshes, you can see missing data elements become 4. So there's one more than before. So date of birth is trackable, and the system keeps track of it for us. So if I click on that, now you can see the date of birth. It's in there. So we made it trackable, and the system tracks it and tells us, hey, you guys didn't enter data and you need that information. This is a very useful tool to have because, for example, in your business, you may want to start a client off, but they don't have the EIN number, so they don't have the tax account number. But you want to start the record and get the ball rolling and get the account ready, and they can do purchase and stuff, but you might want to stop about delivery or whatever. So this system will allow you to start a record and go through with all the transaction, but it always keeps track of it, that the EIN number, for example, is empty and it has to be filled in. So the system, the report comes out, it pushes out that person all the time, and that company has to fulfill its data elements. So it could be very, very useful. Now the last thing I want to show here is the data history and how it works. Right now I made an update to my record about date of birth, and as you can see there's a red box around it telling me the data has changed. So that data has changed, and I can go traverse and see the record as it was before it was made a change. So every record would have a box around it. Every record element will have a box around it, red box, telling me that certain things have been changed. And if I want to see the previous one, I just go to previous record. It'll tell me what it was before. And we're still keeping track of who did, when they did it, and if they left a note, why they did it.